On the 23rd of February 2008, before God and Samoa, a government puppet, Dr. Yeti Talealo, lied on behalf of the Human Rights Protection Party. He told God and Samoa that the Land Titles Registration Act 2008 protects customary land, when it actually destroys all customary land, converting it to freehold title. It is the will of the Human Rights Protection Party to register all land in Samoa under the Torrens system contained in the Act. Only one type of title is created under this Act, and it is freehold. Section 32 of the Act converts customary land title into freehold land title. It permanently destroys the customary land status of the land recorded, and with that destruction, all links of that land to the ancestors and the unborn, that is destroyed forever. Our Constitution commands all politicians to protect all rights of the citizens of Samoa, especially fundamental rights. The supreme law of Samoa is made up of the Constitution, the Whāsamoa, and Christian principles. The Act breaks all three bodies of law which make up our supreme law. Article 102 of the Constitution is broken by the Act because it permanently takes away the customary land rights of all Samoans. It issues a freehold title to a few members of the population and destroys all customary land rights, so that a few Samoans will become wealthy forever and the rest of Samoa will become economic slaves, forced to work on other people's land for a living and forced to rent space to live on and to be buried in. No more freedom for Samoans. Rent will be expensive and food will be just as costly. Article 109 of the Constitution states that if the land structure of Samoa is to be changed, there must be a national referendum, and 2/3 of voters must agree to the end of customary land for our people. Knowing this, the HRPP Party have bypassed the national referendum. In private, they say that with a majority in Parliament, they do not need to hold a referendum because they rule Samoa. This is not what our Constitution requires. Our Constitution requires a national referendum before this Act can be submitted to the head of state for signing. It cannot become law until 2/3 of voters agree to the end of customary land title for our people. Section 9, subsection 4 of the Land Titles Registration Act promises to protect customary land rights, but it is only a trick, for the only title created by the Act is freehold title, which gives the registered owner the right to exclusive possession, which means he or she, or the company consisting of no more than 25% foreign shareholding, may remove anyone else from the land and treat it as theirs for all time. Any customary land rights belonging to other persons who might have greater title are destroyed, and the link between the ancestors and the unborn is destroyed for that land forever. As soon as any land is recorded on the register of the Torrens conversion system, it loses its customary land status forever. The Human Rights Protection Party is not a party that protects human rights. It is a party that abuses and exploits the human rights of the people of Samoa to make it and its supporters rich by stealing the resources of Samoa from the people. The Act creates a land race with winners and losers. This is unconstitutional. All Samoans worldwide who have not lived in Samoa for 2.5 years within the past 3 years must return and live in Samoa for 2.5 years before they can make a claim to register land under the Act. The Human Rights Protection Party and its supporters will own 90% of the land of Samoa, either in their own right or as 75% shareholders of foreign companies. The land will also be available for purchase by foreign countries, either through foreign companies or in their own names with the permission of the head of state. By unlawfully converting customary land owned by Aiga into freehold title owned by single people, the HRPP have acted not only unconstitutionally and in breach of the Whāsamoa, but they have departed from Christian principles. The Ten Commandments say, "Thou shalt honour thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet." By destroying customary land titles, The bones of our ancestors will be violated, for foreigners will come and live on our lands while our people are taken away, and these foreigners will stamp on the bones of our ancestors. The government have lied to Samoa about the Act. The Act steals the treasure of the Ainga, the land and its resources, and gives it to a few selfish Human Rights Party supporters and to foreigners, while the Suli, their family who own the land, will rot like fruit thrown away, and the land of our ancestors and our unborn will arrive to shame with the boot mark of slavery on their foreheads, instead of with honour as the lords and ladies of a free land gifted to them by our ancestors to preserve for all time. The Constitution states in Article 2, subsection 2, any existing law and any law passed after the date of coming into force of this Constitution, which is inconsistent with this Constitution, shall to the extent of the inconsistency be void. Void means it is unlawful and of no effect, as if it had never been made, never had been passed by the Human Rights Protection Party. My beloved people of Samoa, worldwide, we have a problem, because the Human Rights Protection Party owns the courts and pays the judges and buys them houses and cars and gives them overseas trips. How can these party supporters rule on the supreme law against their own party? I've studied history and discovered that whenever a group or government wishes to take the customary land of native peoples, that the winner is always the one with the biggest army. In November 2007, the Human Rights Protection Party passed the Police Powers Act 2007, enabling the Prime Minister, MALIE and the head of state to bring foreign military into Samoa for a public purpose to be decided by the PM or the head of state. These visiting specialists, aitu, can come from anywhere into Samoa, bringing the weapons of their choice and using these weapons on Samoans without being charged, as the Police Powers Act 2007 says they are immune to all Samoan law. They are above the law. How sad that before 2007 only God was above the law in Samoa. This party makes Samoans second-class citizens so that foreigners can inflict the 7 deadly sins on Samoans, and those who oppose them will be called criminals. If a child was accidentally run over, this law means no compensation is payable and no criminal charges will be laid. They can kill and forget, but how can we forget this disgraceful law by a disgraceful party? This is the Human Rights Protection Party's way of protecting human rights, my beloved people. This is their army to force the people off the land, and unless we stand up now as the Aiga Sa Moa Atoa, all of the combined families of Samoa worldwide, and reject them as our leaders, our customary land will be gone, and our unborn will be born into slavery. Now is the time, my precious Samoa, to repay the ancestors by protecting our land so that the unborn receive the gifts of this land and its treasures from their ancestors. This is our time. We are the guardians of the future. We must stand up for those who cannot, the ancestors and the unborn. We must raise our fists towards the government building and shout, "No tolerance! No Human Rights Protection Party!" As to Dr. Yeti Taulealo's comments about my website, www.samoamorsamoa.webs.com/, I humbly invite all Samoa to view it. It records the lies and the betrayals of the HRPP Party and has links which provide full copies of the Act and other acts. It is no wonder that Dr. Yeti Taulealo, a government puppet, would find the truth set out before his eyes shocking, for it threatens the Human Rights Protection Party's evil plans. In order that he be forgiven by God and Aiga Sa Moa Atoa and the editor, Savia Sano Malifa of the Observer, for his lies about the Act, I humbly request that he apologise and admit his lies. If he does not, he will be branded forever in Samoan history as a liar and government puppet, prepared to say anything to deceive the people. Aiga Sa Moa Atoa, let us join hands worldwide. Let us stand united as one family and stand against this act written by Australia to destroy our people. Let us show them how alofa works when we share and look after the little children, the sick and the elderly, and every other member of the family of Samoa. The HRPP have gone too far. Their final solution is to kill off their own family for money. No more can Samoa afford spoilt brat politicians who grow wealthy while children fail to learn and the elderly and sick die needlessly in the hospitals. We have no time for the jet-setting parasitic celebrity lifestyles as they look down upon the ordinary good people of Samoa. Samoa, we need a new breed of politicians who put the people first. We have been given so much by our ancestors. It is time for mighty men and women of Samoa to tell these political dinosaurs to leave before they destroy our country forever this year. Let us all turn towards the government building, raise our fists in protest, and as a show of strength and shout, "No Torrens! No Human Rights Protection Party! No MALIE, Samoa, more Samoa!"